Okay. I attended WVU from 1970 to 1974.
Okay.
And my major was broadcast journalism. Yeah, so it's interesting. I got an internship through the university's broadcast news office, doing little pieces, and that eventually led me to where I am today at the Alumni Association. It was a interesting road, but nevertheless, it really helped me, that major. Well, Morgantown is my home, first of all, and I've lived here for 30 years, and also I think most people from West Virginia really do care about Morgantown. They consider Morgantown probably the hidden jewel or the jewel of West Virginia.
Right.
And so that's, we and Morgantown, we care about Morgantown because it's a great place to live, it's a great place to work. Mm-hmm. It has all kinds of culture, it has amenities, and I wouldn't live any other place. Okay? I did my first, as a freshman, I spent it in a dormitory, like most freshmen do. Mm-hmm. And that dormitory isn't even there today. It was called the Columbian. It was called the Columbian, which is now Knapp Hall, where Extension service is. So that dormitory wasn't there. And then the next 3 years on campus, I spent it at a fraternity house. So I lived for 3 years in a fraternity.
What fraternity?
Sigma Chi.
Oh, cool.
And I had a great experience there, and Greek life was very important in those days back in the 70s. It was a big changeover because of the Vietnam War. We were just getting out of the Vietnam War, and so fraternities at that time were really changing and transitioning from back in the 60s to where they were then in the 70s. It was just a neat time to be on campus. Well, if I go up there and look, pretty much the area up on Fife Street, where it was at the corner of High Street and Fife Street at the Sigma Chi House, hasn't changed too much. What has changed is there's a little bit more parking in back of the fraternity house, and they're contemplating now possibly even building a Greek village in back of the Sigma Chi House and to the side. So it's not changed much in 40 years, but it will be changing dramatically if a new Greek village, by Greek I mean fraternity village, where different new houses are built. So we'll see what happens. It was in Greek life. I was in Greek life, and I tell you the difference in back in those days is I think the liability for drinking was not as great as it is today. In other words, people didn't think too much about when parties were held. Parties were held in the fraternity house. They're not allowed to be held there today. There was a lot of there were kegs allowed in the fraternity house. I'm not sure that's allowed today.
Right.
And again, it was just a different era when there was less liability of people suing and getting in trouble. Nowadays, it's significantly the risk is significantly higher of being arrested, getting in problems, or getting suspended from the university. So that didn't exist quite then. It was maybe a little bit lax in the 70s compared to today. Now, there's a lot of scrutiny because of media attention and social media these days, so people get to see it. Parents get to see it.
Right.
Alumni across the country get to see the party image, so there's a lot of pressure and a lot of scrutiny on that happening. Mm-hmm. That didn't occur back when I was a student in my day or of the 70s, but now it is, and there's a real concern. We now have, it's a big university with a lot of alumni now. There are 190,000 alumni literally across the country and the world, and every day we get something bad or some stereotype on the party image. What that does is it really devalues your degree, a person's degree, and that's the biggest thing. Is the party image doesn't help valuing a degree once you graduate. So that's my biggest concern there is for a freshman or a sophomore, it may sound cool to have a party ranking, but the older you get, the more you realize that that's not the case. And, you want to value your degree to be valued. You want to eventually have companies hire you, and companies really don't look at your party ranking. They look at the schools and colleges like journalism. Journalism has a very good rating. They look at that for hiring jobs, and also parents and students, incoming students, look at academic rankings, not party image. So it's all a matter of increasing the value of your degree once you get out of here, and that's not going to be done with a party school image. Well, we're doing a lot of good things now, the university and the community, and I'll go back to our days of being bad fans. There was really an image, a culture of being bad fans and not welcoming visiting teams. So when WVU entered the Big 12 Athletic Conference, there was real consensus made, a conscientious effort to change our image. And so you'll see at a game, whenever there's a visiting fan coming up with their colors on, you'll see people, community and alumni and even students wish them well, ask them if they can help welcome them to Morgantown. And I've really been a turnaround here in the last 2 years. I think we've changed our image there. And I think we have to do the same kinds of thing with our party school image. I think we have to promote our academic rankings, how well students are doing, the kind of students we have, and I think that's a lot better if we can do that. So that's really what we have to do. We don't promote the party school image, promote WVU's gaining in academic rankings and academic status across the country. If we can do it on fan behavior and change sportsmanship, we can do it on the party school image. So that's it. It's the same kind of stereotype on the party school image that we've had for 20 years, and it's just easy to pick WVU because WVU's been picked for so long. But we just have to get through that. We have to really recognize the important things like academic ranking and how students are doing academically.
Right. So the university is already trying to take those steps just like they did with the sports image.
That's exactly right, and so does the community. And if you will see what happened when two people flipped the car after the Oklahoma State game, they were immediately prosecuted. So I think there has to be a lot of discipline occurring when that happens, and we're less likely then to promote that party school image if this kind of behavior stops. And, everybody wants to have a good time. And again, most of the alumni that are surveyed had a great experience in Morgantown and a great education. And we just need to promote that. There's nothing wrong with having a good time. It's that's part of college life. But also it's the other part of succeeding and doing well in the classroom, and we've done that. Our kids have done that. Well, we're going to continue to do it. We're going to get, and then I thought the Playboy ranking of number one, I thought it was really not a fair write-up by Playboy compared to the other schools. And the other schools were mentioned a little bit less lax. They were mentioned as great schools. They go to the library as well as party. We didn't get that image. Our image had to do, I think, more with getting arrested than mentioning academics. And so, again, it's the stereotype that West Virginia always faces, and it's an uphill battle, but I think we're seeing some progress made, and we're getting to some success here, particularly in fan. Really a raunchy write-up. It had to do with I think getting arrested and drugs and things like. It was really a raunchy it was a raunchy write-up, and it really wasn't fair. So, but that we say that a lot. We just again need to promote other things, and we're doing that. the university has a good marketing office, and that's what we're marketing to parents and to incoming students and freshmen. The fact that we're a growing institution, we really do have a national reputation academically. So that's what we're going to promote.